Hey everybody. So I'm here to talk about politics. Hi everybody, politics. No, that's a joke. To be honest, I feel like I've been working on some political content, so I just wanted to talk about some politics. Well, it does depend what you think is politics, though, because it's not really politics. It's just really, it's a political base, but I don't know. I just call it politics because it's easier to understand, I suppose. But today, okay, before we get into the video myself, let me go to a little bit of political background about myself. I'm a feminist. I do consider myself to be somewhat liberal. The reason why I say somewhat is because nowadays the Liberal Party, and this is just my opinion, is losing its grip. When did we get to Joe Biden? I'm sorry, I don't like Joe Biden. That's my opinion. I'm not a fan of Trump either. I'm not going on a Trump train or anything. I'm just saying, Joe Biden, and here's the thing, can I rant a little bit about Joe and Trump? What is the difference? Seriously, in my opinion, Joe Biden and Trump are literally the same thing. They may not be on the same level. One may be a Republican, other may be a Democrat. But in my opinion, they're just on the same page. Just think about it. Think about it. I'm just not a fan. I'm sorry. But that's just my opinion. But today we're not going to talk about Biden. We're not talking about Trump, nor anything like that. Today, we're going to have to talk about an interesting fella I found a long time ago on the internet, and I do occasionally watch his stuff, because if you're going to see, I don't agree with this person too much, but I do think he is a good speaker, and I do think he's a good interviewer. I do think he has some good ideas in his belt, but for the most part, I do think he is a little lackluster, and that is Dave Rubin. Today we're going to talk about Dave Rubin, and a little bit we'll be talking about some classical liberal stuff, which he does say he is a part of. Dave Rubin, I actually found him a long time ago before I even know his name, and what's it called? He was in the Young Turks, I would like to say that name is at the time. So he was first in that show. He was a straight up liberal, okay? He left that, made his own show, the Dave Rubin, or the Rubin Report. And he pretty much, he says, I'm no longer a liberal. But here's the thing, he says, I'm a liberal, but I'm a classical liberal, which we'll get to in a second. And he interviews people from both left and the right, which I actually kind of like, I'm all about getting different opinions, even if I don't necessarily agree, I'm all about getting different opinions, so that's good. But here's the thing, and I'm going to get to the things what I don't like about Dave Rubin and the things I kind of like about Dave Rubin. One thing I'm not necessarily big on about Dave Rubin is the fact he is kind of stuck in the past to me. Now, here's the thing. It's one thing to be a classical liberal and believe in ideas of, getting this country together, getting both sides together. That's all fine. But it's a difference to be just why did I stuck in the past? And let me tell you, out of experience, I used to be like that. I wouldn't call myself a classical liberal, but I was in fact a libertarian at the time. And let me tell you something. Libertarians used to have it made. In my opinion, they used to have it made. What happened to the libertarians, they just kind of came this, right wing 2.0. Now, with Dave Rubin, I just feel like he's stuck in the past, as in, okay, he's a gay man, all good and said, but he has such negative views on gay marriage, in my, how I see it. Now, that could be too many different things. I'm bisexual, so it could just be inner homophobia. I don't know. I don't know what he has in store. But he does say we should not ban people who disagree with you. And here's the thing. I agree with that. I really do. What I don't agree with, he believes in, a gay man, Dave Rubin, believes in, basically, if a cake company don't want to give you a cake because based on your sexuality, they should have a right to not give you the cake. That's a little too much, in my opinion, Dave. That's a little too much. I'm sorry, but I just don't know. I don't know if that's right. Because here's my thing. If you see marriage as a institution, which I don't see marriage as an institution. I see marriage more as, do you either want to be married, do you don't? I personally would be fine either way, being married or being not married, and just having a partner. But here's the thing. He sees marriage as an institution. Okay? So is that a little hypocritical to think, and he's married to a man. Is that a little hypocritical to think you shouldn't be allowed to give this gay person cake? Wedding cake? I'm a little confused here, Dave. Again, you're a gay man. You're married to one. Should you be a little concerned if a cake company don't want to give you a cake? I'm just saying, this is all my opinions, of course. Yeah. By the way, I'm sorry if I'm a little hyper today, folks. I had a little bit too much sugar today. Anyway, anywho's, other thing I'm not really big about on Dave Rubin is the fact he's friends with Ben Shapiro! I'm sorry, I do not care for Ben Shapiro at all. I just don't like Ben Shapiro. And here's the thing. It's sad because I feel like Dave Rubin is such a good interviewer. He's such a good reporter. Such a good speaker. But I feel like the fact he hangs around people like that, why? You deserve better, man. You deserve better. Other thing I'm not really big about him is the fact he's also a big friend, and fan of this guy. Oh, what's his name? Oh, great. uh, Jordan Peterson. Sorry about that. Jordan Peterson. The guy who literally writes about how you should brush your teeth every day. We know that. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of him either. Especially because he's known as a philosopher, which he's not. But my thing is, Dave Rubin has good qualities, he has bad qualities. And I get it. He's trying to figure things out. Heck, I mean, I'm only trying one, but I'm trying to figure things out. But, you know, this is all opinion based. Now let's go to things I actually kind of like about Dave Rubin. For one, I actually kind of like the fact he interviews people from both sides to get both opinions. I think that's awesome. I like how he's friends with everybody. You know, he even hangs out with feminists, which is cool. Me being a feminist, I agree with that 100%. Yeah, that's pretty much where I stand with him. I think he kind of overdoes himself a little bit because. And that's where we kind of get to the classical liberal side of things. Before anybody judges me, I just want to point out, okay? I am, in fact, a fan of this guy, JFK. Okay? I understand classical liberalism. Now, am I a fan of everything he did, what JFK did? No. But I do respect a young guy who just kind of came president and tried to fix things. I respect that. Even if, and he had a charisma, he was smart about it. Even if he didn't do everything perfect, in my opinion, I like him. Here's the thing about classical liberalism. It's okay to be kind of classical in the sense you have class to you. It's a whole different thing if you're just going to be stuck in the past. In my opinion, what this country don't need is another, checks after heavy checks. What we need is crazy radical ideas. What we need is pretty much hope. What we need is new ideas. We don't need, some guy or woman trying to fix things by using the same old speech, the same old language. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like Joe Biden. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of Trump, because they're stuck in the past. And that is my biggest criticism of all this. So, what's your opinion, people? Have a good day, bye.